We have the pleasure of Nick Sykes' company here. Your role at the museum, if you would.
I've been volunteering since day one. I essentially try and keep all the cars looking at their best. I leave the mechanical work to Jim and some of the other volunteers in the workshop. So we do obviously have a policy of trying to ensure that not only do they look the part, but they're still kept in good running condition. Case in point, we have Norman Wisdom's Rolls Royce, which is currently in the workshop because a friend of the family would love to have it used at their wedding, and it gives us a good opportunity to get it out, service it, give it a little run, and then it's back in again.
Of course,
so the museum actually is now 10 years old. It opened in 2015. It's the brainchild of a father and son, Dennis and Darren Cunningham. The first car that started the entire collection, which actually isn't in here today, is an XJC. So it's the two-door coupe version of the famous four-door saloon. So this is the car which Dennis used to go to hospital to pick up his wife and newborn son. So Darren is 38 years old, so we can date the first car to 38 years ago. So at some point, Dennis would normally have sold the car, but because of the association with the son's birth, he kept the car, and that was number one. So this is a cautionary warning to everyone. If you start, who knows where it could end.
Exactly.
So this museum was custom designed, obviously, and built. They were property developers. So the building appeared out of the ground within 8 months. It was an astonishing feat. The two mezzanines that are in the heart of the building, which carry the majority of the bikes, that was obviously a very important element of the museum. So I think the museum stands at just over 640 vehicles at the moment. So we've got, as I say, bikes on these two mezzanines. But we had such demand from other collectors wishing to display their bikes that we put a wall to carry another 90 bikes. So the collection really has blossomed over the last 10 years. We used to have a sizable amount of room around the cars. Now it's bare minimum, really.
No, I did come about four years ago initially, but you can definitely tell that it's filled up considerably. But no, it's a lovely story to kick things off and how it all started.
Well, the collection is unusual in the fact that it doesn't necessarily cater for any particular form of type of car, whether it be race cars like Donington used to have, or a lot of period cars. It's a very eclectic mix. So as I mentioned earlier, we have prototypes of the Monikers. We have Bonneville bikes, handmade on the Isle of Man. We've got some military vehicles, micro cars, national concourse winning cars, barn finds, even space capsules and space stations. So it is as diverse as it possibly could be. But I think that's the joy of it being a privately owned collection, because there are no committees. It's simply Dennis and Darren's choice, and I think people really get a kick out of seeing such variety all under one roof.
I think that's what is the charm of this place, is the variety. Other places you go to, they're very niche types of cars or models or vehicles, but this has a bit of everything, and there's something for everyone really to enjoy. And there's someone like me who's a car enthusiast, someone who enjoys vehicles, working on stuff, engineering. It's wonderful to see the array of the engines there as well. So it's a feast for the.
It is.
So just to move on a bit to your car here. Tell us a bit about it. How it came to be your ownership, what you've done.
Well, essentially, I've been an automotive illustrator all my life. And I used to go along to the paddock around the back of the grandstand, which was where the Manx Classic Part Fairney was, and we'd have George Daniels, the famous watchmaker, with his blower Bentleys. The first blower Bentley ever made, he had in his collection YU 3250. Nick Cousins used to race 2 the work Zagato Aston Martin that Jim Clark raced. That was also in the paddock. C-types, Jags that is, Bugatti Type 35Bs. The most amazing, this is actually predates Goodwood. I, as an illustrator, always thought one day, hopefully I can get something which maybe I can compete with. And as the years went by, I eventually managed to acquire my first Healy, and then a few years, well actually it was about 19 years later after that, I came across this. Now this was actually a fully restored car by Cape International. It was the UK National Concourse winner. It was owned by Derek Parker originally. It was actually his 21st birthday present to himself. Lovely. And then he raced it at Castle Coombe Prescott from day one, along with John Chatham, who was a neighbour and a great friend of his. This car, it is a full-on race car, but as an automotive illustrator, not a racer, I'm determined to preserve the car in this state rather than risk life and limb and race it. by trying to race it.
So obviously, apart from this car, can you tell us about one or two other cars that your favourite, or
well, as we're standing here on the side, this is a DS19 Chaperon convertible. Now these cars originally were conceived in 1955. This is a Series 2, and I think it is dated 62. It is the year I was born. So the roof of this is very, very rare. I've been told that there could be as few as 3 originals in existence. It actually looks very pretty without. But we've got a theme of actually 3 roadsters here, all with the hardtops on. So that's the reason for it this year. So this is obviously a very dramatic looking car. The one next to it is the SM. So this was designed by Flaminio Bertini. This one was designed by Robert Opren, who was actually his deputy. And it's got a Maserati engine. They still have the same Citroen suspension system. Very soft, very supple. But the design, the French Gallic flair that you see in these cars is evident in both cars, although from different eras.
Exactly.
Then we have this E-Type. So we have actually 2 E-Types together here. The Series 3 Roadster, stay with a hardtop on, which has not been restored, but has always been cared for by its owner. Lovely plates, V12.
Crazy.
Whereas the E-Type alongside has sadly been neglected for most of its life. Now the E-Type Series 1 from 1963 would command a huge price if it was in mint condition. Clearly, the amount of money required to bring this back from the brick, I think the brick's probably actually an understatement, it would just be too costly to restore. But you'll notice that it's actually the only vehicle in the museum with rope around it. That is to deter people from removing the dust, because it's lovely to be able to show people the car as we first saw it.
As you first dragged it out of that barn.
That's right.
Ultimate barn find.
That's right. So then further up the museum, you can't be on the Isle of Man without referring to the Peel cars. Now, Peel cars are made of fiberglass. They have 49cc DKW engines. We have a red Trident with a big dome top, and then we have the blue Peel P50. Now, there are only 20, possibly 30 of each of these left in the world. There weren't that many made in the first place. And they command huge sums of money. This room through here, which is dedicated to Peels, has a remarkable Mini. Now, we're all familiar with Minis.
Of course.
What's special about this is it's one of 3 surviving prototypes. It seems that BMC commissioned Peel Engineering to make a fiberglass version of the Alec Izagonis design Mini, with the intention of kickstarting a car industry out in Chile. So this was the car which was used for their endurance testing. So I believe it's done about 100,000 miles. We've not beautified the body in any way. That's part of its narrative. But what we have done is overhaul it so mechanically it runs very well.
This might be a good segue to head to the workshop?
This is actually based on an old RAF base during World War II.
I see.
So it would be appropriate, I think, to have an aircraft in here. This is actually a jet Provost.
Like a training aircraft.
So this dates from the late 60s, 70s. This bus here was the one used at Pikes Peak. So it's the last survivor of the 1954 four that were made. Then we have a Jensen FF here. So this is the four-wheel drive version. Obviously we're going to get all these bumpers restored.
Yes, and the chrome finish.
So this has got four-wheel drive, ABS brakes, designed in 1967. So it's got at the heart of it is the American Chrysler V8, which is a 6.2 litre in this case, and what an amazing car!
Yeah, no, I love the finish, the colour.
And then this is Norman Wisdom's
yes.
Rolls-Royce.
Yes.
So this car is currently being serviced by Jim, our senior engineer mechanic here.
Thanks.
So it's intended to be used, I think, for a family wedding very shortly, which explains why it's being serviced.
We had a wonderful time, and thank you for sharing such
Not at all.
Take
care.
Good information.